Hello there! Over the past few weeks, I've been working on a game called Autoland. Mechanical horror. I've always wanted to create a horror game, and since I recently started learning Unity and Blender, this seemed like the perfect opportunity. So far, I've only been using Game Maker for, 2D games. And that got boring after a while, so I thought it was about time to go 3D! So, after making my first 3D game in Unity and learning how to use the engine and Blender and blah blah blah, and no, it is not Jetpack Joyride, shut the fuck up, I felt ready to tackle a bigger challenge. I had this idea of a horror game featuring robots instead of the boring old monster this, monster that thing we've seen a billion fucking times before. And even though we can all agree that robots are fucking terrifying, for some reason, there's barely any horror games about them. Except Five Nights at Freddy's, but we don't talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. So, where did I start? Well,
I guess it was the weather.
I begin with one of the most, if not the most important thing in horror games. Sound design. So I slapped my ass. What? What the fuck? So I sat my ass down, opened FL Studio, recorded a bunch of weird, scary sounding noises, and alright, mostly weird. But then, I slapped a bunch of filters on them, and BAM! Sound design. Listening to those creepy ass sounds before even knowing what those things are gonna look like, it really sparked my imagination and made them feel alive. So I started modeling my first Autroid. The Mannequin. He'll be the main enemy inside Autoland, and perhaps I'll dive deeper into his mechanics in a later video. In most horror games, you are completely and utterly useless. And there's no way of defending yourself, except for, running away and hiding and being a little bitch. And then there's games like Resident Evil, where you are basically a walking arsenal of firearms and can shoot your way out of every single situation. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love these games, but they didn't always manage to scare me. Except for that fucking baby thing in VR, that was terrifying. With my game, I wanted to strike a balance.
Perfectly balanced, this whole thing should be.
I came up with a bunch of unique, brilliant, and mostly non-lethal weapons that can either slow down the enemy, expose their weaknesses, or straight up fuck them up, baby! Hell yeah! I'll definitely share more about those in future videos. The first chapter of Autoland takes place in a warehouse where everything is as old and worn down as your mom. But don't worry, there's gonna be more to this game than just a stinky old warehouse. I'm definitely gonna add more chapters with new environments to the game, but for now, I'm focused on finishing the warehouse chapter first, so I can release a playable free demo on Steam. And you know what that means, right? Wishlist on Steam! Link in the description. I hope you enjoyed your first look at Autoland. Mechanical horror. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want. I don't know, I never do it. Anyways, see you soon.